All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, HaKakodash. I also want to give double honors to my apostles and my elders, a great millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to all you Akim out there preaching the truth throughout the four corners of the earth with truth and sincerity in your hearts and for the love of the gospel. All right, I'm the brother Shemariah, coming to you from the Great Millstone branch of Gary, Indiana, with another lesson. All right, this lesson is going to be about a YouTube short that I just ran across. All right, titled "How Battlefield Tech was used in Minneapolis." All right, and if you know current events, ICE just were in Minneapolis. All right, a lot of them just left Minneapolis, but a lot of them are still there. But while they were there, they were policing people in the name of searching for immigrants and trying to deport them. And in the midst of that, they end up killing 2 American citizens. But I just wanted to do a video speaking about how the words of a prophet shall come to pass. That's how you know that man is a prophet and the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, has sent him. All right, because the apostles and the elders on down has been preaching, all right, since the beginning of this thing, all right, that martial law was coming to America. All right, now we didn't know, how it was going to happen or how, what exactly was going to take place to start it. But we can clearly see now that it's already here. Now we all understand and we all have been teaching the same thing as far as the MOTB, the market of beasts, is going to be implemented forcibly. All right, forcibly. And it's going to be by way of troops. All right, but right now we have troops. All right, we have troops on a small scale, violently and forcibly taking people away. All right, now they're not implementing the chip, per se, but they're policing the people, and we can see that how this ties into prophecy. All right. This is setting America against Americans. Okay, all of them, most of the American citizens are against the American citizens that are with America. All right, if that makes sense. Like the American citizens that's with ICE, and then there's American citizens that's with ICE, with Trump and against Trump. Like all the Americans are separated right now. All right, and this is all biblical prophecy, but I'm going to go ahead and play the video.
Photos from federal operations in Minneapolis over the last week, and this one picture stood out. Tayana Gibson Brown is standing in the doorway, obviously in distress. She's wearing what appears to be scrubs. She has Crocs on, and she's holding her phone in her hand. These agents are basically dressed for an imminent threat. There were pieces of equipment on these agents' weapons that seemed more at home on the battlefield, and here they were on the doorstep of a woman's house in Minneapolis. They cover gun culture and policy. Before that, I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years and deployed twice to Afghanistan. With the last 20 to 25 years, wars in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and Somalia, technology that was used in those wars has kind of migrated into the police force. In this photo, there are 2 suppressors, and a suppressor, also commonly known as a silencer. That was something that just kind of jumped out to me. They protect your hearing, they protect you from concussive blasts coming out of your rifle. This is something you would want to have on the end of your rifle barrel if you are in a house shooting in close quarters. When I was in the military, we were on the front line, and we had wanted suppressors for my team, but they weren't deemed important enough at the time. This kind of stuff is usually reserved for SWAT teams, hostage rescue teams, high threat environments. One of the things that is interesting on 2 of these rifles is this thing called the B.E. Myers MAL. It's a daylight laser and an infrared laser that only you can see behind night vision. Things maybe you'd consider when you were jumping out of a helicopter into bin Laden's compound in Pakistan in 2011. It's that kind of technology juxtaposed with the doorstep. Video from the scene kind of showed a disorganized mess with a lot of yelling.
There is kids in this house. Show the warrant first.
But I think that's kind of par for the course when you have people who are on the street opposed to operations, you have people in the house who are scared, and you have agents who are heavily armed. The agent arrests her husband.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. So basically the guy, he saw some pictures of this raid that they did on this lady's house for whatever reason they did it for. I just wanted to get the point that we have warned the people plenty of times. We have warned the general public of this plenty of times. The scripture Jeremiah 28:7 has came out many times, and then we're going to bring it out again. All right, we're going to bring it out until the Lord comes back. All right, and this is Jeremiah 28:7. It says, "Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people." All right, so we're out there prophesying and making these videos and telling the people that war is on the rise. All right, but in all of our preaching and all of the hearing the words of the Lord, these people are never going to get right. They're not going to get right because the Lord don't want them, right? And the Lord wants the 2/3 to suffer, man. Because why? Because when opportunity was presented to them to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, they refused. They refused, and now you have to pay the consequences. Hence, the face that this man is having. Look at his face. I can't zoom in, but look at him. You know. Now, I'm not saying that this is not going to happen to the men of the Lord, but the men of the Lord are going to operate in wisdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? But this is going to be the face of all 2/3, you know, as we draw nearer to the prophecies. This is the book of Jeremiah 28:8. This is it says, "The prophets that have been before me and before me of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." All right, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him. All right. Only when the words of the man comes to pass that you'll know who are the men of the Lord. You know, we've been prophesying destruction upon this place since the very first time I've heard the truth, and even since the 1960s, man. All right, the late 1960s, GMS has been prophesying, you know, or the start of the start of the truth, really. You know, because we understand that this devil's end. But before his end comes, he's going to come down, having great wrath. So let me read 8 again. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old." So it's not only the prophets that are here today, but it's the ancient prophets have been prophesying the same thing. You know, Moses prophesied against Egypt. Look at Egypt now. Daniel prophesied against Babylon. Look at Babylon now. Jonah against Nineveh. You know, all of these different prophets, Yahushua and the Roman Empire. All of these different prophets prophesied the overflow of these kingdoms, and what happened to these kingdoms. Isaiah against Assyria. You know, these kingdoms have been destroyed, and before these kingdoms are going down, they're going to take 2/3 of Jake with them. You know, we prophesied both against many countries and great kingdoms. America's a great kingdom. Rome was a great kingdom. Persian Media Empire was a great kingdom. You know, Egypt was a great kingdom of war, of evil, and of pestilence, man. And this country is no different from the rest of them, of war, of evil, and of pestilence. It says, it says, "The prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent them." All right. So this devil is going to bring down 2/3 of our people with him. You know, this is the book of Revelations 12:12. It says, Revelations 12:12. It says, "Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." All right, so the devil is going to come down unto you having great wrath, man. Right? Having great wrath. He's going to unleash all of his arsenal, all of his military tech, all of his AI, all of his robots, all of it, man. All of the secret weapons. He's going to unleash all of that upon Jake. Why? To forcibly mandate the MOTV. All right, when you go to the next chapter of Revelation 13 and you start at 16, it says, "He causeth." Oh, I started 15. It says, "And he And he gave power to, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? And that image is what? This is the philosophy of America, which is Rome all over again. Right? You have to worship this beast, worship this beast's image, his philosophies, or he's going to put you to death. All right, but 16 is talking about an actual physical mark that he's going to try to implement on society, man, and he's going to do it by way of troops, forcibly. Just like how he forcibly took this man away from his house, he's going to forcibly take the man, the children, and the wife, and the damn dog. Everybody gonna have a mark, man. And if you don't, you're gonna be killed. Thus saith the Lord. It says, verse 16. It says, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right? Because if you don't get that mark, you're gonna be put to death by this man. You know, and and 2/3 of our people are gonna receive this mark. Why? Because they believe not on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And even if 2/3 do not receive the mark, they still don't receive Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It's all about serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua with sincerity and with truth. All right, and then we've been saying this for many times, man, many years, right? And then a lot of these 2/3 of our people, 2/3 of Israelites, is going to be looking like this man on the screen right here. Scared, frightened, no hope, hopeless, you know. And rightfully so, because when the Lord presented himself to you, you passed. You didn't serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You had no inkling to. But you served yourself, or whatever it is you serve.
4 days later, he was ordered
and
to
as
be
this man was
released
speaking,
as his
he was
Fourth Amendment
speaking about
rights
the
had been
technology that they
violated.
use in Afghanistan, that they use.
I was looking at it as a silencer. That was something that just kind of
on
jumped
the
out to me.
people.
They
Right,
protect
and
your
that's
hearing.
rightfully so. Suppressors, laser sights, bulletproof vests, all of the things that they use in war, they're going to unleash it all, man. They're going to unleash it all. From there, let's grab the book of 2nd Ezra real quick, then I'll close it up. Let me see what I want to give. 15 and 15. Sorry. 15. 2nd Esdras. 15. It says, for the sword, 2nd Esdras 15 and 14. Woe unto the world that them that dwell therein. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. And there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their power, their actions shall stand in their power. All right? So this is talking about uprising. That's going to be an uproar of the people. That word sedition, right? It says, Slocky. No, I'm talking about that word sedition. 16. Sedition in 16. It says, for there shall be a sedition among men. That word sedition means an uprising or revolt, rebellion, revolution, anarchy. Against what? The government. Okay? It says, when you start a verse up, it says, sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against the other with swords in their hands. And what's the modern day swords? The gun. For there shall be sedition among men, uprising, and invading one another, right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, which is who? The law. The ones that dictate the laws and the ones that enforce them. The citizens are not going to regard the laws, because look at what's happening. Look at what their kings and princes are doing.
protect you from concussive blast coming
You know,
out of your rifle.
when you look
This
at
is
the,
something you would want to have on the end of your rifle
look at
barrel
what their
if
kings
you
and
are
princes
in
are
a
doing
house.
to the people.
Shoot. One of the
He's
things
gonna
that is
show- he's gonna
interesting
show
on
the
2 of
footage.
these rifles is this thing called the B.E. Myers Maul. It's a daylight laser
There
and
it
a
is.
doorstep. Video from the scene kind of showed a
Invading one
disorganized
another,
mess with
man.
a
It's
lot
going
of
to be
yelling.
citizens
There
invading
is
other
kids in
citizens.
this.
Citizens that
Show the
stand
warrant
with the
first.
government,
But I
with the
think
kings and
that's kind
princes,
of
and
par
then
for the
citizens that
course
don't.
when you have people who are on the street opposed
there you go.
to
People
operations.
uprising,
You
man.
have people in the
Protesting.
house who are
It's all
scared,
prophesied.
and you have agents who are heavily armed. The agents arrest.
Then it says, and they shall not regard the kings or princes, and the courts of their actions shall stand in their power. There's going to be no one to reprimand them. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. It's going to be sieges. They're going to besiege the city, make checkpoints. You know, this is for because their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And men shall be afraid because of what? Your pride. You don't want to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushua because the Lord, first of all, the Lord didn't put the spirit on you, but he gave you the opportunity to look into it yourself to see if these words be true. But you have something better to do. Right? It says, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. It says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods for the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? For the lack of bread, it's going to be a famine area, man. Because you got to think, during martial law, people aren't going to go to work. And on top of that, during martial law, there's going to be a collapse of the society. Why? Because they got to implement that mark of the beast. That's going to be the new currency. Then there's going to be a whole new currency. It's going to be a digital currency. Just like how you have digital currency now, crypto and digital currency, you're going to have digital currency in the coming times. All right, your fate, these people's faces are going to be just like
4
this
days
man's
later,
face.
he was ordered to be released as his Fourth Amendment. Heavily armed,
Just like
the
that.
agents arrest.
That's the look. That's the look of a man that is scared and afraid. Look at his face. It said what? Men shall be afraid. And that is the face that 2/3 of our people are going to wear through the entirety of Jacob's trouble. All right, and hopefully, man, this lesson was edifying. And until next time, shalom.